Hey there YouTube, welcome to the Studley Boys channel. Today we're gonna talk about the Sony State of Play. Wow, make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of thing.
Get it! It's first intro!
Alright, so obviously State of Plays happened on Thursday. I didn't watch it live, but what'd you guys think of it?
I mean, for the 30 minutes it was grand. Like that. There's a meme I've sent whoever edits this to throw up of me hoping for FF16. I was hoping for that, but they did warn us beforehand. They were like, it's gonna be Deathloop focused, and we're gonna have indie games and some other stuff. But I was still kind of hoping for Final Fantasy 16. And Deathloop has never grabbed me anytime they've shown a trailer. So I did keep my expectations low, but I was still kind of like, oh, okay.
It was definitely lackluster for sure.
Yeah.
We'll run through some of the games here.
There was Mouse Book 2.
I didn't know there was a book 1, honestly.
How was it? You've played it.
Yeah, it's a cute little VR, like, where you played like the big ghostly thing you saw in the trailer. And you're looking down at this like really detailed environment, and you control the little mouse running around. And so it's like your perspective kind of gives you like a vantage point over the level, and you like control things as well to you'll pull a ledge out so the mouse can jump on it, that kind of thing. It's a cute little VR game. I'm not that excited for a sequel, but it's fine.
It's coming on VR, like the original VR as well, I think, where it's like you've already shown us the controllers for VR 2. So can you start like revealing the more stuff for
graphically, it definitely looked like it was still a PS4 game. It wasn't next gen.
Yeah, definitely. Like the graphics was definitely hideous in my opinion for next gen potential.
I mean, the VR games are never gonna have as good graphics as like a normal console release.
I was just talking about like Alex though. Alex was pretty good. And that's a VR title.
That's PC VR though. Like the PS4 is
that's true.
Old hardware.
Yeah.
At this point.
And Vader Immortal, is that much of a downgrade then on PS4?
I actually haven't seen the PC version, but I would say probably.
Yeah, okay.
It does have some like low-res backgrounds and shit.
Now, is this a third-person VR? Like, how do you control the mouse, or is it like first-person?
You're like a giant creature in this little. Well, like you're human-sized, but you're controlling a little mouse, and it's like a little tiny like mouse-sized world with little houses and shit. It's very cute and charming. And it's actually quite difficult when you like get into it, as Rebecca can attest. She rage quit the game when I showed it to her.
Guest starring this episode, guest starring Rebecca from Rebecca's Rage Quits.
We just oh, that'd be such a good series name.
All right, moving on to the next game here. Arcadegeddon.
Arcadegeddon. The worst title I have ever heard. Yeah. We came up with like 5 alternatives of how you could mix arcade and Armageddon, but they just have the 2 words basically. It's horrible.
Yeah,
my one.
And it looks like knockoff Fortnite.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah, I thought it was a Fortnite. I legitimately saw it and I was like, oh, it's Fortnite. And then I had to be told, no, it's not Fortnite, Chris. Yeah. There's a different title at the end of that.
Apparently there's early access to as well. So starting, I guess, that Thursday. But I wasn't excited to try it.
I don't know. They can keep their early access.
Can't shove it, right? The Tribes of Midgard, which is basically like
oh yeah. Okay, right. Yeah,
we've seen that. We've
talked about that.
Things,
yeah.
Check out the Microsoft one, among others, to see that.
Yeah.
No, it was the Gearbox one.
Oh yeah, it was Gearbox. Yeah, so definitely check out all the videos. Obviously, this State of Play is not actually part of the E3 realm.
Yeah, Sony's doing their own thing, and the last one was like May. Like they're very frequent with them. I think they do them every 2 months, but they said there'd be more during the summer. So some people are thinking there could be another August one, or one in September.
Now the next game seems like a new title though. It's like a Robo Rabbit game called F.I.S.T. Forge and Shadow Torch.
Yeah, we giggled at that title every time.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I think I hate that it was one of the headlining titles of this.
Weirdly enough.
But I thought it looked good. Yeah. But
that was the side-scrolly thing.
That was the side-scroller one, yeah.
Can you get it on Game Pass, though?
No, I don't think so.
No. Can't get fisted on Game Pass. And then it was Death Stranding, right?
No, it's Hunter's Arena Legends actually is next.
That's the most generic sounding thing.
It's a 30-player melee matches.
Was that the League of Legends looking one?
Pretty much.
I had nothing to say about that other than it looked
Yeah.
like League of Legends. I didn't care.
What are those games called? MOBA?
RTSs.
Multiplayer online is redundant. Battle Arena is also redundant. So it's basically multiplayer arena, which can describe like Doom. It can describe any game.
MMA.
Good job, lads.
And then was it
All
Death
right.
Stranding.
No, it's not.
Talk about Death Stranding.
Next is Shifu, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Shifu! I like Shifu. I love seafood.
I'm allergic to Shifu.
The ironic fact here for us is Peter actually loves seafood and I don't. Yeah, so there's a bit of irony. It was cool. That was by the developers of Yakuza. Was it? Was that the
We better
Yakuza?
fact check that. I don't know.
No. That you might be talking about the Lost Judgment.
I'm thinking of Lost
That's
Judgment.
different.
Yeah.
Now Sifu's the one where
Yeah.
his age counted up every time he lost,
Oh right.
which I don't even know what that.
Wait, you sure it's not
means.
Lost Judgment?
Start as a baby, and then you age up as you die.
And I keep
Benjamin
making
Button game.
I keep making the joke of Master Shifu. That's how I know.
Yeah, it might be a fun little title. Next one is Jett the Far Shore. I believe this was shown before as well.
I didn't like that title. The way they had it.
Oh, Jett.
It looked. It
Yeah.
The two T's make an N. So it's a Jen. When I see it, I just see Jen.
I have to watch a trailer again. I don't even remember this one. I mean, graphically, it looks nice though. Like the actual like environments look very good, but then when you actually get to the characters, it's like, man, they are hideous.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of the first ever Sims game.
But the one cool aspect, if anything, is maybe they kind of like compared to like almost like a Sims game where you actually go in, like zoom in to like the actual players or the people actually on the ship and live out their lives or see what their lives are like. It seems pretty expansive. I don't know.
I mean, they coined, a lot of people coined No Man's Sky with this genre.
Yeah. And what was funny too, I think in the very beginning, it says here like not actual gameplay. So like, are we actually not gonna be seeing exactly what you?
Every gamer's bane. Not actual.
Not
gameplay.
actual gameplay.
That's funny.
I'd laugh if it suffered from the ill fate of No Man's Sky or too many lies.
It probably will. Next game, Demon Slayers is coming out with a game. What'd you think about this one?
Oh, that was the
yeah.
anime one. Yeah, it looked like PlayStation 3.
Yeah, that's what I said. It looked like PS3.
Yeah.
It looked like the Naruto games.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of the anime-based games will kind of look like that, and it plays off like Liam was saying, like an episode of the actual TV show.
All right.
Okay.
So and it might be cool for those that are fans of the show.
I don't know. I just wish it looked nicer. Like you've had like stuff like Dragon Ball Fighters, which looks exactly like the anime, and like the cell shading has gotten.
I mean, this one looks like the anime.
I'm sure it'll have also cutscenes that will look exactly like the anime.
Yeah, but it's like what Peter was saying. Like it looks like the Naruto games, which, I mean, they're like the same. They're cell shaded, but they don't look like a literal anime episode, like compared to something like Dragon Ball Fighters. I think like that's where that needs to go.
What's it called? The next game is called Lost Judgment. Now, this is what we talked about.
Oh,
Yeah. This one looked cool.
It looked straight up like a Yakuza game.
It pretty much that's exactly what I was thinking too when I was watching this. It feels like Yakuza. Like it even goes down to like the mini games that they were showing out as well. It was like,
I was so sure it was gonna be like Yakuza and then a subtitle, but no.
We said that on the we streamed it and we were saying that we were like, oh, it's the next Yakuza game.
Wasn't there skateboarding as well on this trailer?
yeah, they were skateboarding. You could ride a bike apparently. I don't know what the hell happened in the trailer.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 7.
You could do like bossing as well. You can pet dogs. Is this a sequel as well? Didn't they have another game before this?
I don't know. It looked like the plot of it reminded me of the movie Old Boy.
It seemed like it was a revenge thriller.
So, are you ready for the biggest reveal of all of this?
Yeah.
Everyone's ready for the big reveal?
It is a Yakuza game.
A sequel to the 2018 Judgment, a spin-off of Yakuza.
Oh, there you
So
go.
it's a fucking Yakuza game. There we go. The big reveal. Actually, no, yeah, it's Yakuza. We were wrong. We were right all along.
Isn't it the same developers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next big title, of course, we saw this already in previous videos, but the Death Stranded director's cut.
Yeah, I mean, we've got our first proper look, I feel, because the last trailer was nothing really.
Yeah.
It's just
it
that
was
little
a little meme.
Yeah,
basically.
I haven't played the original, but I'm excited to get it on PS5. People have played it. What
Yeah,
did you think?
I put like 105 hours into Death Stranding and completed fucking everything.
Damn.
I like it, I guess, but it doesn't seem to me like anything they added is going to be a huge addition. And as well as that, I liked the simplicity of the combat in Death Stranding because it was nearly like The Last of Us combat. It's very like harrowing, like I'm just barely scraping by. And if we have all these extra guns and stuff, it might kind of ruin that feeling.
And more combat sections and stuff.
Maybe. I'm not sure if it'll be more sections.
They basically mentioned here, like, there's gonna be new battles, new story modes, or more story elements, new combat, type of combat. Obviously, there's even that racing little mini game. I guess I don't even know what that's all about.
He does have like a little dirt bike or something actually in the original. I was going to say it's the driving mechanics. Is there anything like racing like that?
There are vehicles, and players can like collect resources together to fund roads, and then the roads are permanent. And it's like, if you're the one who gets the last bit in, then you get likes from whoever uses your road. And so I thought it was going to be like, oh, they've turned that into, you can make a track, and then anyone can like race on your track. But it seems like, no, it's like they're pre-made race tracks that you can just drive
really?
around
That sucks.
rather
It'll be
than
cool if you can
using
make
the
your
track.
own.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Damn. All right.
And that'd
Well,
actually be unique for a racing. Is there like many racing games where it's like literally just make your own tracks?
There was the Little Big Planet spin-off.
Trackmania.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's Trackmania, which is a banger.
GTA 5 has a very versatile create your own track program these days that you can do some really fun things.
yeah, upside down, loop the loop, all that.
Yeah.
This is definitely good, like a good showing off the trailer. Obviously, for those that haven't played it, this would be like the definitive edition to play.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
comes out in
definitely.
September.
But someone who has played it, do you think this is something you still try out, like for you specifically, Peter?
Yeah, it's definitely a game I would replay again, and obviously if I was, I'd do the new version with all the extra stuff. But I'm not dying to like replay it again or check out the new stuff because it doesn't seem that substantial to me.
Do you think? We obviously we cover a lot of Final Fantasy on this channel, and there was the Final Fantasy VII remake, and that came out with the episode Yuffie, and it was like a $10 upgrade fee. There's a $10 upgrade fee for this as well. But Yuffie is like its own separate thing. There's nothing else new to the story. So do you think you'd be more inclined for something like that, or something like this where the new story elements could be during the game?
As far as like get the same game again, I'd be more interested in the Yuffie thing. Death Stranding is such a long ordeal of a game to get through, and it's like, oh, do the whole thing again for another few pockets in it. You know, I would replay it again, but not so soon.
Yeah.
And also too, like I'm assuming it's like a full price title as well. It's not like a I don't know, like a DLC type thing where or like another $10 gets you like the director's cut. Like, did they even talk about that at all?
Yeah, it's another 10 gets you the director's cut. There is an upgrade, so there is.
It's
Oh, it is
more
an
like
upgrade.
the
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition,
Kind of.
where
Yeah.
it's just some extra kind of features, but it's not really gonna change the game.
Yeah. What I will say, I do think is nearly better about this compared to Final Fantasy Remake is this has haptic feedback with it and the adaptive triggers.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So 7 Remake had none of that kind of, but this
And
this
Death
is super-
Stranding is it's a walking simulator in the most literal sense, and that all the different terrain has a different feeling, and you're literally playing the game one step at a time sometimes, and so the haptic feedback can feed nicely into that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that kind of changed the experience a little bit.
Yeah. And just before that comes out as well, Ghost of Tsushima director's cut. They didn't show that at this conference, but they announced that around the same time. And they announced that's coming out in August, I think like 2 weeks before this, and that's also getting the director's cut name. But if you pre-order Ghost of Tsushima right now you would get the PS4 version as well. Yeah, so it's like you can already, which I kind of like. It's like, okay, pre-order, you can just play the game now.
I mean, it was a really graphic like masterpiece. Like imagine on a PS5. Oh my god.
All of these were like, it's amazing that 7 Remake, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, they were all the best looking games on PlayStation 4, and they're the ones getting like the HD remaster.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird though, like, but I mean, I suppose it's that easy to kind of do the upgrade and make it look nicer.
All right. They finally finished off with Deathloop. 9 minutes of gameplay, apparently. Definitely, the vast majority of this was Deathloop, as they said originally from the news. What do you guys think of Deathloop? Obviously, we've kind of briefly talked about it off screen.
Because, and in previous videos, not even the E3 ones, but like in videos even further back than that, if people want to look, I've always made my opinion on this game whenever it appears clear that it just doesn't interest me. And so as soon as it kind of came on with this, I kind of just tuned out again. I was kind of like, I know what this is.
Have you played Dishonored though? Like, that's kind of like what it's based around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked very Dishonored.
It's the same developers. Yeah.
They literally copy paste some of the mechanics, like the way you can kind of highlight. You've got like the orb, and you place it there, and then you zip to it. That's straight out of Dishonored.
Do you think this is like pretty much like a rehashed version of Dishonored then?
Kinda.
A rehash or a spiritual sequel? It could just be that.
Could be that. Although it's when they're literally using some of the same. I've never been interested in Deathloop until this. This kind of piqued my interest a good bit.
Oh, did it? Okay.
The concept is kind of novel enough.
Explain that concept actually for those that may not know.
Oh, it's basically Groundhog Day. Every time you die, you're back at like square one. But because it's this dense world that Arcane are kind of known for, you'll be able to find out things about the characters, about enemy placements, weaknesses, etc. So every time you do the loop, you know, if you're clever about it, you'll get farther and you'll be more capable each time. And so with Dishonored, right, when you play it yourself, it's one thing, but there's this like Brazilian guy who plays Dishonored levels, and he makes them into a work of art in itself. He plays them so sufficiently. It's insane. He's able to set up kills like across the map. Yeah. He like bait one guard into shooting at him, and then he like use like the time abilities and that or whatever to get another guy coming after him, so that the first guy's bullet hits the second guy, that kind of thing. And he'll like do 10 of those kind of moves seamlessly, one after the other. Wow. And towards the end of the
for like John Wick shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
And toward the end of the Deathloop gameplay, they were basically kind of doing that, because it's like they were chaining together this really cool action, and you know, the implication is because the player has been through this scenario so many times that they perfectly know where everyone's going to be, and they can chain this together beautifully. And it's like, to me it seems like Arcane saw this guy's gameplay and they were like, okay, how do we take that and turn it into the regular player's experience? And so it's like, okay, so this loop concept, you're gonna become like insanely skilled and be able to just like naturally, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's also kind of like Super Hot in a way.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda.
But Arcane's games, they tend to have a lot of like in their I know a lot about Arcane because I was obsessed with Prey for a while. You know, in Skyrim, you can like put a bucket on a character's head and then steal everything around them, and they literally can't see you because they've got the bucket on their head. Right, in Arcane's like studio, they have like a screenshot of that on their wall as like the ideal of how a game should be. Because what they want is to have a game that's so tactile and it's so like has so many mechanics going on that the player will come up with solutions that they never thought of, but that work perfectly well. And so Deathloop seems kind of genius, because most people play through Prey, right, and it's a completely boring playthrough. They don't even think about the scale of things that they can come up with. Like, they don't even get creative about it. Whereas Deathloop, it's like the perfect setup to encourage the player to get creative. and to do it over and over again, and they'll come up with crazy solutions that even the developers never thought of. My interest is definitely peaked now.
And the fact that the way you're describing it also kind of increases my interest as well, because like when I first saw it, like when I was talking about it off screen, it's like I actually fell asleep during some of this stuff because like I don't know, I was super late and whatever, coming back from work and whatnot, so I kind of fell asleep during some of that.
That's kind of it then for the state of play, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that they kind of finished off with the Deathloop there. Obviously, there'll be plenty of other state of plays that we'll cover here in the Silly Boys channel.
No, the last bit of Sony news. We're gonna have to milk this top. Last of Us started filming in Colorado, the HBO show. Pedro Pascal was there. There's a picture of him, and
Who's he playing?
he's Joel. Yeah, I don't
like it.
I don't think he's a good. He could be a great. Yeah.
So you don't think he'll make a good Joel? He's a phenomenal actor.
He's good as Mando. He's good as Mando.
Yeah.
And he was grand in Game of Thrones, but he's not very versatile. Like, from what little I've played of The Last of Us, I see Joel as this kind of, and I'm sure this is how he is supposed to be, is like this kind of lone cowboy, right? Like he's supposed to be kind of more of a cowboy than anything.
He's a very gruff kind of
cowboy,
secretly traumatized guy who's surrounded by.
Yeah, whereas like Pedro Pascal doesn't have that kind of nature to him, I don't think.
I guess we'll have to wait for it to come out and then not watch it because I don't really care. I enjoyed Last of Us as a game, and I don't know why it can't just be a game.
Well, speaking of that, they're also coming up with they're rebooting the original game. You guys heard about that, right?
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah.
It does not need that at all.
Yeah. I hope they do it like the Final Fantasy VII remake. And so it's Last of Us Remake Part 1. Last of Us Remake Part 2. It's like, they just expand
The first game had like a chapter for each season. Just split that into 4 games. Why not? Just milk it.
But yeah, guys, that pretty much includes the Sony State of Plays review, I guess, of it. If you guys want to, well, you can't like, watch his reaction anymore.
If you wanted to watch my reaction, you should have maybe hit the notifications on my channel and watched it live, because there was some stuff that happened. Some things got revealed that shouldn't have gotten revealed. Very suspicious. And it had to be taken down.
And apparently his video got kicked.
Well, I took it down. I voluntarily was like, oh, we can't have that information out there.
So definitely, if you guys want to know more about it, definitely subscribe to Chrisora. Link down below as well. But that's pretty much it. So definitely like, subscribe in the Silly Boys channel, and we'll see you next time. So this has been Talos signing out.
It's been Chrisora.
It's been Liam.
I feel another yawn coming, but this has been Peter.
And can we get another scream from Rage Group Becky? Woo!
Ah!
Beautiful.
Beautiful.